evening all. So welcome everyone, episode 19, Shark Attack Case Files. So not been able to record a video for a while, busy, shit. So today we're going to look at anecdotal evidence of an attack, because I was doing some research while trying to work out what is the highest latitude for an attack, particularly any shark. But so I've done a lot of research. There's been attacks, up here, sort of Oregon, maybe even as high as Washington State, and even if you go over to Japan, there's been attacks in Russia. Up here, these type of latitudes. But what we're going to be looking at today is actually some anecdotal evidence of shark attacks off Greenland, interestingly enough. So these areas off Greenland here, rich areas for fish, particular. So there's a lot of halibut up here, whales, fish, a lot of fish. So Greenland. And obviously statistics, there are no statistics up here, just anecdotal evidence of attacks dating back from to 1767. And this guy here, Thomas Pennant, so he was a Welsh naturalist. So this guy was well-to-do, had a lot of money, so he spent all his money basically as a scientist back in the day. So he would travel the world, writing scientific papers that would get published in various journals. And this guy, basically from the evidence, we know that this guy knew what a great white shark was. So he knew what one looked like. We know that from the evidence here. So he said here that these sharks grow to great bulks. They weigh 4,000 pounds. It's just like a great white he's talking about here. And he's saying that there's been evidence, or he's seen that there's been the bellies of so there's been humans found in the bellies of great white sharks. So he knows what great white sharks are capable of. And in this journal dating back to 1780, he commented here that he knew that the ancients, he says here, like, the ancients were antiquated with this fish, as in the great white shark. And the opium, which is which is basically, he was a poet, I think, in the 2nd century AD, in the times of Marcus Aurelius, that they noted in the Mediterranean of great white shark attacks. So he was aware of this, and we've seen that before. I've mentioned it on another video where there's ancient pottery depicting shark attacks dating back sort of like hundreds of years BC. Ian Pennant goes on to say, unfortunately for mankind, this species is almost universal. So he knew that the great white sharks were wide-ranging, which we know they're all over the world in temperate waters, in both the southern and northern hemisphere. So he knew great white sharks were all over the place, and it frequents the seas of Greenland. So this guy commented that it frequents the seas of Greenland, feeds upon halibut, great fish, and what does he put here? Seals and young porpoises, and will even attack skin boats of the Greenlanders, like the indigenous people of Greenland, and bite a person whose lower parts are lodged in the skin boat in two. So he's basically commenting that he's witnessed, or he knows of, great white sharks attacking people in skin boats off Greenland. And he says, like, the only thing that the sharks are scared of is like sperm whales. So we know this guy knows what he's talking about. We know that he knows what a great white shark is. So he's saying, or he knows, that great white sharks have attacked people off Greenland. So what evidence can we support this with? So that here's a skin boat. So you can see these frail little boats, what these Greenlanders build. You can see that this could easily be bitten in two by a great white for sure. So location Greenland prior to 1776, activity watercraft, great white shark, ? We don't have a lot of information, we know what Pennant is saying is the occupant of skin boats were attacked by great white sharks, and we know the water temperature there between 3 and 9 degrees, which is 37 to 48 degrees Fahrenheit. So can sharks live up there? We know Greenland sharks live up there. So this is a massive fish. These fuckers grow to like 23 feet, so comparable size to great whites, and these will actually take prey off the surface. They've been observed taking deer swimming on the surface in other parts of the world. So we know that they do predate other animals or a bit larger prey. So it's a possibility that it could have been a Greenland shark, what he'd witnessed, or someone else had witnessed anecdotally. But so there are other big sharks up there. But have they been tracked as far as that? So we know from the work that OSearch done. So they released this paper a few months ago. So this is the culmination of all the tagging that they've done. Lovely job. Yeah. So this paper, the spatiotemporal variability of great white sharks. Movement ecology during residency and migration phases in the Western Atlantic. So this paper, a few months ago. This is, as I said, this is the culmination of all the studies they've done over the last many years, tracking sharks up and down the eastern seaboard. And we can see that these large female sharks will migrate quite far. So we know that they go as far as Newfoundland, which is obviously cold water with the Labrador current coming down here. So this fits the profile with the water temperatures, the colder water temperatures, and these larger sharks tend to venture out further. So we've got evidence here of these sharks going right out into the mid-Atlantic ridge and back again. So we know that they frequent this quite large distances up and down the coast and quite high latitudes. This paper is an interesting read if you've got a few hours. So in terms of water temperatures off Greenland, we can see that in the summer months, sort of July, August, late summer into autumn in the northern hemisphere. So this is within range. I mean, if you Google great white shark temperature range, it'll tell you it's like 12 to 24 degrees, which is 54 to 75 Fahrenheit, but they can go lower than that. They've been found as low as 5 degrees, high as 25. So I mean, because they regulate their own body temperature using a counter-current circulation system, they can heat the blood going both ways. They can easily live in these waters. So I mean, so what are we saying? We're saying that possibly somebody got killed by a great white shark in Greenland. Is it possible? Yeah, I think it is possible. So, but it's never happened since this guy Thomas Pennant reported it. So all them hundreds of years ago. And I'll leave a link in the description to this video of a massive great white shark filmed off north of Newfoundland by a helicopter, just swimming along. And this is really cold water that the shark is in, big female shark. And it also begs the question of these. If I go back to this slide, it's like how far out do these sharks go? Do they go as far as northern Europe over to the UK? I mean, that's a different question. And there's a couple of good YouTube videos on YouTube. There's a guy, Islander Outdoors. He does a good video on why great white sharks could live in Great Britain, for example, or the UK. So I can leave a link in the description to that one as well. And also, there was a sighting. There's been a couple of sightings of great white sharks in the Bay of Biscay, which is North Atlantic, sort of over the other side. I can put a description or a link. You can paste it into the search bar and you can see this great white shark in northern Spain, Bay of Biscay. So we know that these sharks are all over the North Atlantic region. So it's a bit of a weird video, this one, but chalk another one off. Laters.